Keegan Bradley, U.S. Ryder Cup captain, joins us now. Keegan, it feels like 5 minutes ago I interviewed you on that 18th green at Montreal. What is the personal transition from going from this hyped-up player to this detached, clinical captain that you have to be?
Yeah, I mean, it's a heavy role to have with the boys, but you know, I really feel like this is something I was born to do. I've really enjoyed getting to know the guys better. You know, this group of players is a completely different group than I came out on tour with, and you know, they're so passionate, they're so kind to each other, and they really are motivated about the Ryder Cup. So it makes my job pretty easy, but they're just good guys, and I look forward to being their captain.
Keegan, one of the themes that seemed to emerge in that press conference was the idea of you being a playing captain. And there are so many unknowns between now and next year, you know, your form and the growing responsibilities of the job. Are you in any way concerned that it might actually be a distraction, that question or that issue, over the course of the next 12 months?
Yeah, it is. It's a question that I know I'm going to get every time I talk about the Ryder Cup or I'm in front of a microphone. But, you know, to be perfectly honest with you, to be able to make this U.S. team is really difficult. And I am going to have to play incredible golf, and that's something that I'll have to worry about way later in the year. So, you know, right now, I'm really, truly only focused on being the captain of the team. You know, I'm still a full-time player. I'm playing in all the big tournaments, so I will have an opportunity to do this. But, you know, for me, I'm a captain first, and, you know, that's my biggest priority.
Well, Keegan, by your own admission, trying to make one of these teams can be an all-consuming thought process, day-to-day thought. I know it has been for you in the past. How different is it knowing you're going to be there regardless, whether you have the headset or the clubs or both?
Yeah, you know, when they announced this tournament being at Bethpage, you know, however long ago it was, a while, I was just saying to myself, I just hope I'm there in some capacity. And so to know that I'm going to be there is really cool. I look forward to leading the boys and, you know, out there in a going to be an unbelievable environment, and hopefully to win the Ryder Cup. Whether that's to be playing or being captain or both, we'll have to figure that out later. But like I said, I'm a captain first, and we'll sort that out if it needs to be sorted out later in the year.
A lot of questions this morning, Keegan, about the potential for unruly behaviour in what is famously the most vocal group of fans in the entire sport. I'm curious if that impacts who you would actually bring to Bethpage, because trying to work in that kind of environment isn't really everyone's cup of tea in this game.
It's very true, because you know, what I've been telling the boys is this is going to be a tough place for us to play as well. The New York fans demand a lot out of their players in any sport. And if you're not performing at the level they believe that you should be, they're going to let you know. So this is not going to be, you know, all perfect for us. We're going to have to play good golf. You know, the New York fans are as passionate as any in the world, and I expect them to be loud, very pro-American crowd. And then, you know, the PGA of America already has precautions in place for if fans get out of control or cross the line, and they'll be removed.
Keegan, Bill Belichick was a big fan of Sun Tzu, The Art of War. What kind of captain are you going to be? Are you a data analytics guy? Are you Terry Francona? Are you rah-rah? Give us kind of a peek into what kind of captain you want to be.
Well, you know, I'm still figuring that out. I'm gathering as much information as I possibly can from previous captains, from previous players, current players, and I think you have to sort of change your style for the group that you're the captain of. I think the captain of my early teams wouldn't work. You'd have to do a different approach to this group of guys. They are very much, they have routines, they have things that they do to prepare to play, and you need to let them do that so they can play at their highest level.
Keegan, you made clear that you're bringing the best 12 players on your team, regardless of what tour they play on. Zach Johnson obviously chose Brooks Koepka, a LIV player, to play in Rome last year, but Zach made clear that it was very difficult for him to actually assess the play of the LIV guys. He couldn't really find it on a broadcast network anywhere. There isn't really data analytics that indicate form. Are you going to go out there and see what guys are doing on LIV, or how do you plan to keep up to date with exactly who is a credible candidate from Liv?
Well, yeah, I'll see them all in the majors. You know, the guys who are in them and are, you know, going to be playing in the majors. I'll keep a close eye on. I mean, winning a tournament is winning a tournament. So, you know, I'll keep an eye on that. And then I plan to, if some of the guys on Liv are looking like they have a chance to make the team or are going to make the team, I'll definitely try to get out to an event and check in with the guys. But, you know, we all know the players. We all know who the best players are. You know, we can look at what a person is doing and know that's a great player. Whether they fit in the team, in the team room, in the way we want to do the pairings is a totally different story. But we're going to evaluate, you know, the players, and it could be 0 Liv guys, it could be 1, could be 2. There's no way to tell of how this is all going to shake out.
Keegan, Jim Furyk said he felt like he was a half day ahead, a half step ahead than he was in 2018 in Paris. You're facing a captain in Luke Donald who has done this before. In what ways do you feel that's a challenge for you, that you have to play catch up a little bit, if only because he's a formidable captain that you'll be facing?
Yeah, Luke is one of the things I really admire about Luke, the way he went about his career. He's calculated, he's precise, he works hard. There's no wasted movement, and you know that's a big challenge. And I'm going up against a captain that, you know, has done this before and won, and their players bought in and played unbelievably. So, you know, that is definitely a disadvantage that I have. However, I just was in the team room with a winning United States team in the President's Cup, and I was able to really get under the hood, I guess you could say, of how these guys operate. It was important for me to feel the nerves of playing in these events again, as it'd been so long. I understand sort of some of the lead up, some of the preparation, some of the rest the guys are going to require. And that's good. That's going to be a big help. And, you know, I'm going to surround myself with people that are going to help me and help the team win.
Only one US team has lost at home in the last 20 years, Keegan, which you were on back in Medina in 2012. And nobody actually won more points for the US team than you did that week. Why do you think road wins have become so rare? And have you any particular insight as to why it happened that week back in Chicago?
Well, I think sometimes you run into it when you're at an away Ryder Cup, a really great home crowd, and then you run into some unbelievable play. I heard a very famous European Ryder Cup player say he thought that was the best he'd ever seen a European team play at Rome. So you go out there and sometimes you just get beat. And I think when you get some hot players and they are playing in front of their home crowd and they start to build the momentum, it's really tough to beat.
Keegan, what advantage, if anything, do you have by having played a lot of college golf while you were at St. John's at the Black course, or has too much time passed for it to be a substantial advantage to you and the American team?
I don't think me playing the golf courses has really any advantage. I do know how New Yorkers love their home teams. I know how they love Bethpage. I know how to communicate with them. And I look forward to hearing them cheer and be passionate for their fans. But, you know, me playing Bethpage Black as a 20-year-old college kid, I don't know how much that's going to help me be a Ryder Cup captain. But I just know my love for Bethpage and the golf course, the atmosphere, the history. It's something that I love.